Daily Words of God. As soon as God becomes the life within people, they become unable to leave God. Is this not the deed of God? There is no greater testimony. God has worked to a certain point. He has said for people to do service and be chastised, or to die, and people have not backed away, which shows that these people have been conquered by God. People who have the truth are those who, in their real experiences, can stand firm in their testimony, stand firm in their position, stand on the side of God without ever retreating, and who can have a normal relationship with people who love God, who, when things happen to them, are able to completely obey God and can obey God unto death. Your practice and revelations in real life are the testimony of God. They are man's living out and the testimony of God. And this is truly enjoying God's love. When you have experienced to this point, your experiences will have had an effect. The people who have truly seen God's love are those who are possessed of actual living out, whose every action is looked upon with admiration by others, whose appearance is unremarkable, but who live out a life of the utmost piety, who commune the words of God and are guided by God and enlightened by God, who are able to speak God's will in their words and commune reality, who understand much about serving in spirit and speak openly, who are decent and upright, who are non-confrontational and decorous, who are able to obey God's arrangements and stand firm in their testimony when things happen to them, and who are calm and composed no matter what they are dealing with. Some people are still young, but they act as someone of middle age. They are mature, possessed of the truth and admired by others. And these are the people who have testimony and are the manifestation of God. Which is to say, when they have experienced to a certain point, inside they will have an insight toward God, and so their external disposition will also stabilize. Many people do not put the truth into practice and do not stand firm in their testimony. In such people, there is no love of God or testimony to God. And these are the people most loathed by God. They eat and drink the words of God, but what they express is Satan, and they allow God's words to be vilified by Satan. In people such as this, there is no sign of God's love. All that they express is of Satan. If your heart is always at peace before God, and you always pay attention to the people and things around you and what is going on around you, and if you are mindful of God's burden and always have a heart that reveres God, then God will often enlighten you within. In the church, there are people who are supervisors. They specifically watch the failings of others and then copy and emulate them. They are incapable of differentiating. They do not hate sin and do not loathe or feel disgusted by the things of Satan. Such people are filled with the things of Satan, and they will ultimately be utterly forsaken by God. Those who have visions as their foundation and who seek progress are those whose hearts are ever reverent before God, who are moderate in their words and actions, who would never wish to oppose God, upset God, or for God's work in them to have been for nothing, or to waste all the hardship they have suffered, or all that they have put into practice. They are people who are willing to devote more efforts and more love of God to the way ahead.